Now, to be speaking as the father of the bride is not correct. I've checked with Monica in depth, and it's 100% not the truth. I'm honored to be here. But equally, I'm only here because my good friend, Alan Banks, is late. I'd like us to raise a glass in memory of Alan Lawrence Banks. Now, these speeches, I understand, generally start the same way. Pauline is. And that in its own right is almost impossible, because that algorithm has not yet been solved. It has not even been begun to be worked out yet as to exactly what Pauline is. What we know is she went to Chisipidi School and, by all accounts, was a reasonable performer. And quite a panicker. She was, one or two described her as plain. And from there, she carried on and went to university at Cape Town, where she did a BCom, I think in accounting, and passed, which was good. Her career continued in a fairly flat vein, and she started to go to work. And at this point in time, the character that we know today started to emerge. Because in a very short space of time, she entered the fuel industry. I understand was involved at ABC Auctions. And from there, went into work with the Earl family. Opened a shop called Industria, which she was very proud of. A bar she was involved in called the Horsebox Bar. From there to mining, back into fuel, some work at Sabre Business World, and in a short space of time, her career began to formulate. I guess we just remain sort of, possibly all that remains for you is cigarettes and cannabis. You've all done all the things that Trump would have been proud of. So, I think she's going to do that as well now. We began to know more about this person in front of us, and we began to identify a few things we're crystal clear of. The first thing we know is she loves money. She likes making money and she likes spending money. She does them both very well. And Tom, that's going to continue, I think. Something you should be mildly aware of. We also know that she's capable. Incredibly capable. And whatever she puts her mind to, she can do. That's for sure. She's capable of change, a bit. She can change a whole wedding venue without even caring about anybody else's thoughts. Or air tickets for that matter, which she's done. And in this process, she's also done some work on herself. And she did the Enneagram and came out as an 8. Her colleagues said she's a murderous 8. Now, most 8s are tough, strong people. We know that. Pauline is particularly tough and particularly strong and is no longer plain. That you can put to bed, Tom. What you thought might have been a simple Massey Ferguson is far from that. This is a high-performance machine in front of you. And that's how she's arrived on your doorstep. Now, Tom, moving swiftly on to you. I think you've played it like a genius. I think you've portrayed a gentle, loving, kind, compliant husband who's potentially going to get bullied. And there are people who are concerned that you might get bullied. So I think you've set yourself up marvelously. We all know that you are a strong individual, a person who's comfortable in your own skin, a person who knows precisely what you want and how you want to exist. And the highest compliment you could possibly have is the fact that she chose you. Which is a good one. Now, more latterly, I've been going to these 30-year-old sort of society weddings, and possibly because I've moved on in age, and much like we see in front of us here, where you have to have 11 hours between the service and the supper. Me and people like Pete Karinas, we can't stay awake that long. But the point in front of us is that, Tom, they tend to give you clever things. Like I saw one with a 5 roses tea bag, and the vicar, who came by helicopter, by the way, he had various spiritual connotations and fun connotations all around this central theme. So I thought hard about how I could help you with a couple of marital tips. And I came up with only one, which is this food lovers cling wrap. That's all I could find, really. And I thought you could apply it in 4 specific ways as we go forward. The first one is when you go to bed at night, wrap up your wallet. The second one is chocolate. Pauline is prone in the latter part of the evening to steal chocolate. If you take a bar of chocolate, wrap it in cling wrap, and do exactly 4 seconds in the microwave, what happens next when she tries to extract the cling film is disastrous. The third one is, from time to time, Pauline is prone to a glass of wine. And they tend to happen consecutively and very fast. When that happens, and if she in any way starts to try and dominate you, you simply raise the lavatory seat and place cling wrap over the bottom. Put the lavatory seat down and see what happens next. And my final tip is to all new married couples. There will be times when she says to you, darling, what should I wear? Bring out the cling wrap. So, Pauline, whilst we in front of us have a murderous 8 who seems to be completely and that, yeah, yeah. Cheapest, what? Give a thing, take a thing. That's the devil's plaything. Yeah. So, Pauline, in all this, what are you? Pauline is on the outside a thug, but on the inside, she's vulnerable. She's self-doubting in so many ways, and has recently taken on some strong journey work to better herself. And immediately, the change in the person I've seen has been unbelievable. She's kind and helped with her own sister's school fees and education fees. She's incredibly generous. She's incredibly determined. She has values that are proper values. I've seen them. I've worked with her for 2.5 years, and I've seen those values. I've seen how they underlie her whole journey. She's open to change, well, to a reasonable degree, and really in her own time, not to other people's agenda. She's loyal, she's passionate, she's energized, and she's got power. She's her own person, and she works to her own terms. She's fabulous, and I think looks amazing tonight. So as you go forward, you're going to have many choices to make. As we wrap up, you'll be faced with the same dilemmas that we all faced with. And we all face them today. We have the choice. We are the only creature on earth that has choice. Nothing else has choice. We can choose tolerance or criticism. We can choose to accept or to judge. We can choose to have respect for a person or make comparisons to others. We can encourage each other or shame each other. You can introspect or you can blame. And most of the time, the solution's in the mirror. You'll both know that. Make room for mistakes. You both need space for mistakes. And work on yourself first before meddling in the lives of each other. What you've already made is the greatest choice when you said today, I will and I do. And that's the best choice you've made so far. Tom, you have a very, very fine wife. Pauline, You have a very, very fine husband. All I can say, and I can say it, is that I do love you. I'd like us to stand up, please, now and have a toast to the bride and groom, Tom and Pauline.